happened today?
Well, we got a Best Buy in Pembroke Pines. We have Advance Auto. We're going to Best Buy because they have the same leak in the same spot and the same problem. And the problem is that we keep putting a Band-Aid on it and they keep not wanting to fix it correctly. But this time when we're going to be telling them that if they can't fix it, if they don't want us to fix it correctly, then we can't fix it. Because if not, we're just going to get a call later on today after it rains to go right back to the same job for the same issue. What happened?
Oh, what are you up to?
I'm punching in and apparently it's in Russian. Now I gotta recall it back because for some reason it's talking to me in Russian.
Do they have like a Russian crew there or somewhere?
No, it just has languages and I pressed English, but it gave me Russian instead.
Oh.
But I don't know if it's from the phone. But this is a part of the job. This is so that the company knows that we're actually here. That's it.
That's it?
Yep.
So what's wrong?
So, I mean, this stuff is just meant to be temporary. The stuff that's on here, this blacktop stuff. But, yeah, but the fact that it's temporary, it's not a permanent repair. It's just kind of just acting like a sheet, and then it starts to deteriorate here and there. You get these little cuts. See, look, I can rip it up right there. See that? And you got water underneath. That's the thing. So this acts like a skin, and it might look dry on top or whatever, but then as it starts cracking, the water comes in and it just sits underneath, and then whatever spots were leaking before start leaking again, and you get the same problem. And it's basically what we got, because this was put on here probably like 2 months ago or something like that, but it's already going. And then it's like constantly leaking because these pipes keep coming apart. But
Yeah.
so now we're just gonna mark all the spots and take pictures and send it in, and hopefully they approve of doing permanent repairs instead.
So we're doing that today?
Yeah, we're gonna put that in today.
Okay.
I mean, that's the thing, like with a roof like this, when it starts to get like that, you can see like the fibers and stuff like that. It no longer has the granules like over here, like this right here.
Yeah.
You can't even.
So when it gets like that, it's really wearing, and so leaks can happen like that too.
The best way you can compare it is look at that and then look at this. This is not even new, but this is what it's supposed to look like at a good stage in life.
That's like
Compared to if you see how old it is. Once you start seeing fibers, that's why we have to do a big area, because when you start seeing the fibers, that means it can leak in any one of those spots. So you literally got hundreds of spots that you have to figure out where it's leaking from.
How do they have grass growing up here?
grass growing up here. When the stuff sits for a long period of time and rain and nobody touches it, just plant life starts growing. Happens on any roof.
Yeah, not including that there's a couple years of dirt sitting right there.
Yeah, we had an Advance Auto that had like, it's like this tall, just all along the wall. You can see over there's even more.
There's patches right there coming under you.
Crazy.
Wait, so why are you taking the picture of the
To
roof
show
hatch?
proof of safety. It's a company policy mainly, but it's just to show that we actually do have a hatch. The hatch isn't rusted out or exposed to the elements, and that it actually closes, not just sits up.
Right, so
Mainly for our safety and to prove that we got up here safely.
show that we're following protocol, and also it verifies that the roof hatch is not like damaged or anything like that. So.
Yeah, no, we're leaving Best Buy. We left it actually the call open because we're contacting North American to talk to Best Buy about what they want us to do, because the NTE they gave us is not enough to do the extent of repairs that we want to do. So we're just waiting for negotiations. But we also have an emergency call. So emergency call, we have to get there within 4 hours, no matter where it is, whether it's in Miami or even all the way on Naples. We have to get there within 4 hours. So that's where actually we're heading now, actually back to Hollandale area to go to an emergency call at an Advance Auto that's also a PVC roof. So PVC is a plastic roof, kind of like PVC piping, but the thing is it's meshed in with fibers. So it makes like this kind of a paper form, but eventually it does get hard and old, and then it starts to crack, just like dried skin. That's the best way I can describe it. TPO is the better quality because that it's made of fibers, it's made of plastic, but it's also made of a couple of other things. I actually don't know exactly what it's made out of.
Feels like rubber.
Yeah, it feels like rubber. But it's one of the stronger of the two, and it lasts a lot longer. I think it's 10-year lifespan or 15-year, depending on the type of TPO that you put on, which is a 45 or a 60, which is the thickness of it. 60 being the highest and 45 being the lowest. And then you have BUR, B-U-R, which is pretty much tar roofs. Hot mop, gravel, torch down. And that's the messy one that we always get really dirty, and we always end up coming home with our pants covered in like black and don't want to step on anything, or it doesn't come out of your skin.
That's the Best Buy roof we're going to.
Yeah, that's the Best Buy roof. Those roofs are a pain in the butt because when you get a leak on a tar roof, there's really only one way to fix it, and that's to fix a big, huge area, because it can be leaking from anywhere on that specific spot.
Yeah, it's not like TPO where you find a puncture and you patch it. It's not really. Punctures on BUR roofs is deterioration, or it might be seams or something like that. So it's harder to tell.
So TPO might be the most expensive out of the three, but price-wise, if you ever have something wrong with it, TPO is cheaper to repair than all the other ones. So you save in the long run than short term. And it lasts longer too.
So is this the emergency?
Yeah, it's the emergency call.
And why are we using the ladder?
Because, most Advance Autos in some places that just don't have roof access, no roof hatch or anything like that on the inside. So then we got to use an old-fashioned ladder. As long as we got it secure, we're good. Yeah. You sure about that?
1,000% sure right now.
Okay.
Look at this.
Show me. Show me what you got.
Take a picture of it. So, sometimes on the job, people think that they have a roof leak, but sometimes it's not a roof leak. If you see here, on the AC, you see how the water is just coming out like that? When you see water coming out of an AC like that, that's not rainwater. And the way you can tell is by the touch. When you touch rainwater, it's warm usually. When you touch AC water, it's cold. Now, we're gonna check, see what happens. Yep. Go ahead, Timmy, take the pictures.
Oh, isn't that exposed wire right there?
That is, that's why I'm not touching it. But if it was high voltage wire, you would get shocked. With that, you'd probably get a little sting, but nothing bad. But if you can see how bad it's leaking, that means the condensation line that drains the water out of the unit is flooded. Take a picture of it there. And then the right side. And that's what you get from when a line is backed up. Yeah, Tim, the line's backed up, buddy.
So is this also part of your
Take
job?
a picture of. Not really. Fixing the AC is not a part of our job, but we don't just leave we don't leave our clients high and dry. We try and at least address the problem temporarily if it's something we don't do, until they can call an AC technician to come out and actually do the correct job and see why the unit's flooding. Because sometimes it might be as simple as a condensation line overflowing, or it might be an actual internal problem and they need to actually do a thorough cleanup. And take a picture of that, Timmy. See how I poke at it and then all of a sudden it starts flowing out like that? Look at all that.
Oh yeah, it is tall.
Yeah, that's how
Really,
you
right?
can tell. That's how you tell if it's an AC leak or a roof leak. Cold and hot.
So what do we do now?
Tim's gonna get started on the paperwork while I figure out what's gonna be our next stop.
So do you tell
I got
the
observation photos, by the way.
Okay. So basically, we start uploading photos. We start calculating time spent here. You know, we start putting all the notes, anything that we found. You know, it's pretty much communication with.
It takes longer sometimes just to do the paperwork aspect to send it in before we actually get to leave than actually doing the leak itself. That's hyperbolic sometimes, but we're not going anywhere.
So are you gonna tell the managers?
In a little bit, yeah. Since I drained out the unit, actually, it should stop leaking in about an hour or two. But I am once Timothy is completed with all the paperwork, then I would take the iPad in with me, get it signed, and get the manager's name, send an email, and then we would be able to close out the work order.
Right. So the last thing we do is pretty much that's when we communicate with the manager exactly what's going on.